stated that an operational task force had been established at the National Communications Authority in collaboration with mobile network operators to continue to investigate public concerns raised on social media.
I would also segue here into the issue of that has become topical of data and data running faster and disappearing. Let me be clear. My fidelity and that of the ministry and the government of President Mahama is to the Ghanaian people. Our interest is the best interest of the Ghanaian people. However, these are technical issues that we would only be able to act on the basis of evidence and not sentiments. I have seen a number of complaints on social media, and I've set up a specialized task force at the NCA and at all the mobile network operators to deal with these complaints. Let me state on the record, every single one of the complaints that have been referred to the team have been investigated, and all of them have proven that it is user settings and user behaviors that have affected the use of their data, and that there has been no price tampering. Let me reiterate, I will not hesitate to deal decisively as minister with any telecom company that falters or alters the pricing that is approved by the NCA. But unless there is evidence of same, you cannot punish somebody just because people are making a claim that is not backed by the evidence. And I can show to the media today evidence, maybe in the Q&A, of some of these instances. In fact, the last one that was dealt with, that I got a report on this morning, the individual complained. I asked the NCA to reach out to him. For 48 hours, he did not respond, so I had to go back on X and retweet at him and say that we've been trying to reach out to you. When we did the investigation, it turned out that he actually handed his own device over to somebody, and when they did the record, they realized that the person used it to watch and stream videos, and that's how come the data he was expecting to keep. And I have evidence of this. I mean, and some of them, we've actually urged some of them to come out and do public sensitization. I'm sure you all saw the one by Mr. DKB when he complained about his data, and subsequently he realized that it was from his own user behavior. But like I said, we will continue to deal with every single one that comes our way.
Away from that, the Association of Ghana Industries has indicated that it will move quickly to reduce prices further if commercial banks go ahead to reduce interest rates. Chief Executive of the Association of Banks, John Dewa, has announced some good reduction in interest rates from this Wednesday, and this is in response to the 3% cut in the policy rate by the Bank of Ghana. Seth Chumakwabwa is the Chief Executive of the Association of Ghana Industries.
No, that's our expectation. That first of all, once the policy rate has dropped, we should see a corresponding drop or significant drop in the lending rate as well. So if we're going to have that improvement, that reduction in the lending rates, and definitely it's going to impact positively on businesses. You know, cost of capital adds to the cost of your doing business. And therefore, if some cost elements of your cost structure is going down, your price must come down. So, for sure.
Is that an assurance from industry?
It is an assurance, but
some will say that we'll see the same city argument being played here. We need more time.
Oh, but the city argument,
we need about 30 days and all the rest. What will be different this time around? Because this was not even just one commercial. This was the CEO of the Association of Banks who was making this claim that from the 3rd of August, that is Wednesday, we are going to see some good reduction. And I'm using his words carefully. If that good reduction happens immediately and cost of credit goes down, we'll see industries responded.
But George, I think to be fair to industry, when we said we are going to see reduction in prices as a result of the gain the city has made, and then we said, oh, it's not going to happen immediately, but give us some time. Indeed, over the past 4 months or so, we've all seen the improvement that has happened. And inflation is dropping. When you go to the market, prices of goods have come down, except those that are not really exposed to the exchange rate situation, and therefore it doesn't have much effect on their pricing, and they have probably maintained it. In the same way, if we see significant drop in lending rates, because it's a part of the cost structure of a business, when your cost is coming down, you must also enjoy and transfer part of the gain to your consumers in the form of lowering prices. Because if you don't do that, others will do it and compete you out of the market. It's not a question of, I don't want to do it because I need more time. It's a very competitive market. So if you were borrowing at 25, 30%, and today you get it down to say 20 or less, it means that your cost of production is going down.
Revenue Mobilization Africa RMA have renewed calls for accountability and transparency in Ghana's financial sector cleanup, demanding an independent public inquiry into the collapse of Unibank and the entire banking sector reform. More in this report.
At a press conference held under the theme delving into the 60-40 State Resources Recovery Formula, a CSO's perspective, the Executive Director of Revenue Mobilization Africa, Geoffrey Kabuti-Okanse, described the state's handling of the cleanup as opaque and riddled with inconsistencies. He further emphasized the need for the government to fully disclose how public funds were used, the exact terms of settlements reached with former bank officials.
How did we move from 5.7 to 2.8 billion and arrive at 2 billion, which we have as a final figure? Our further question is that an amount of 2.9 billion is owed to Unibank. Is it still on our necks, or it was actually absorbed by the total amount that was actually given for dissolving Unibank, which will come from the 25 billion that was used for the finance sector mop-up? So if that was the case, then how much of it from the 25 billion was utilized in the case of Unibank? So these are the things that led to our calls that government should set up a committee, an independent committee, to probe the whole business deal around the Unibank, the dissolving, and then also to answer questions about how much is still owed and actually the assets that Unibank actually lost when the receiver was taking stock of both assets and liabilities. Value it and then let us know all these issues. I'm sure when these are known, it will help the business community. Government itself will know where it stands in how much the state has been using in chasing this money, and citizens will be okay. Clarity will be sought.
Also speaking at the event, Director at the Center for Environmental Management and Sustainable Energy, Benjamin Nsia, warned that inefficient recovery of funds could impact other sectors of the economy, including energy.
Our shortfall was around 17 billion, right? That is even around 2021 or so. So if 2021 we're doing 17 billion, and before these banks were closed before 2021, and even channel the 20 billion or the 25 billion or the 30 billion that you hear them mention in the banking sector cleanup into the power sector, one, our sector would have been modernized, right? Doomsday would have been something of the past. Two, our sector would have been devoid of debt, huge debt, either to IPPs or even local power sector service providers. Three, our sector would have had future capacities. As we speak, our sector is likely going to be in serious jeopardy in 2027. Imagine we had used it prudently, efficiently, we made economic sense out of it. At least some of these monies or revenues could have been diversified into the power sector to stop us from paying the 1 Ghana cedis levy.
The civil society organization urged the government to strengthen institutional oversight, hold public officials accountable, and safeguard the interest of taxpayers, businesses, and affected workers.
Philbro Group Limited has firmly denied any involvement in the alleged sale of a stolen BMW vehicle to Mr. Kwabena Edubwaini, who is currently on trial for multiple criminal offences. Addressing the media at a press conference, the group's director, Jeremiah Akwesin, stated that the company has no business in automobile sales. He emphasized that Philbro Group is not connected in any way to the vehicle in question or the ongoing legal proceedings involving Mr. Edubwaini.
Director of the group, Jeremiah Akwesin, said the vehicle transaction in question was a personal sale involving the company's CEO and not the business itself.
The purpose of our gathering here is to clarify news that are circulating around the social media about our company having to have sold a luxury vehicle to one Edubwaini by his lawyer, Atachia. We want to state emphatically that our company does not deal in automobile, and we also want to state that we do not sell luxury vehicles in our portfolio, or we don't have any automobile company in our portfolio. What we do at Philbro Group is clear and straightforward. We are a real estate company, and we have a commodity company, we have the food processing, we have our charitable company, that's the Philbro Food Bank, and under the Philbro oil, we produce the Phil Fry and then the Ariel oil. There's no way which you go on our website, you will see Philbro Automobile on our website or on our portfolio. I also want to clarify that this is a transaction that happened between our CEO and the third person after satisfaction with the transaction. The individual in question, by name Edubu Ahene, after satisfaction and his due diligence, accepted the offer and did payments through whatever means, and case closed.
Philbro Group Limited insists it has no ties to the alleged stolen vehicle nor the legal case involving him.
Until recently, he decided to bring this issue up and tagging our company and all of that. We want to just state emphatically once again that we do not sell cars, and moreover, the vehicle was bought locally here by a local car dealer in Ghana by the CEO and not imported by the CEO from anywhere in the world. We also want to state clearly that our CEO did this out of his own will and not the will of Philbro Group. So therefore, it is not proper for the legal counsel to Edubu Ahene to try and tag Philbro Group as selling cars to Edubu Ahene. We don't do that.
The group is urging the public to separate the actions of individuals from the company's corporate identity as it works to protect its reputation.
Let's now touch on mining. The African Federation of Miners and Mineral Wealth has resolved to establish its own investment company aimed at transforming Africa's mineral wealth into tangible benefits. This groundbreaking decision made at the Federation's second executive board meeting in Zambia marks a pivotal shift in how African mining unions intend to engage with the continent's vast natural resources. Abdul Muhammad Bana is the General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union.
We are the workers. We are the workers. Government can put together the policies, but it takes us to produce the gold, the manganese, the bauxite, the lithium. It takes workers to do that. And so we have come to a stage, and we are convinced by all the engagements that we have had over the period since 2023. We're convinced that a united Federation of Workers of Africa operating within the mining space, if we pool our resources together through the crowdfunding logic, we will be able to set up an investment company. And that investment company, we believe, will be in a good position to acquire and develop mining companies solely for the benefit of Africa and its people.
As part of efforts to curb rising foodborne illnesses in all 16 regions of Ghana, Atlantic Catering and Logistics Limited has launched a nationwide program to train, equip, and empower street food vendors at New Ibrim in the Ibrim North District of the Eastern Region. Kofi Siao reports.
The program aims at transforming the country's street food landscape through hygiene, education, vendor training, and public health support. The offshore and onshore catering provider will embark on a year-long nationwide and safety campaign under its Atlantic Care Foundation to empower street food vendors. CEO of Atlantic Catering and Logistics, Maud Lindsay Gamrat, in her address says its Care Foundation seeks to strengthen food safety standards across all 16 regions. According to her, the project has received endorsement from the Ghana National Development Planning Commission as a model sector contribution to national development.
We know for a fact that foodborne illnesses are rising in
On the spot, the chief of Obrimpon Nana Akwesi Amochitrie I called on the people to embrace the initiative geared towards a healthy population. Participants received personal protective equipment, including aprons, gloves, hairnet to support the safe operations of their businesses. Kofi Sian reporting for JoyNews.
Job creation and economic growth took center stage in Techima North as local authorities unveiled ambitious plans for a dedicated industrial park. Announced by the Techima North MP and Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Ufuswe-Jari, the park aims to lure investors to set up factories. Anna Sabit reports.
The buzz here at the Techima North District Assembly is palpable after a landmark announcement. The Minister for Trade, Agribusiness and Industry, who doubles as the Member of Parliament here in Techima North, dropped some major news at the second ordinary meeting of the Assembly. The centerpiece, a brand new industrial park, is officially in the works. This isn't just about setting aside land. The minister stressed the focus is on creating an enabling environment, meaning ready infrastructure, streamlined processes, and active encouragement for investors to come in, set up factories, and crucially, create jobs right here in Techima North.
We are also in talks with Nananom to secure a 3,000-acre land for the establishment of an industrial park to host multiple factories in the district. These are not just ideas. They are in the pipelines, and we are pushing to see them materialize. And so once we have that enclave, investors will come there and put their factories. What would that happen to Techima North? When it happens, jobs, jobs, and jobs, and more revenue for the assembly.
But the industrial push is only one part of a broader strategy. Recognizing the vulnerability of relying solely on rain-fed farming, the minister revealed that steps are underway to establish irrigation facilities. This aims at allowing farmers to produce year-round, increasing yields and moving away from dependence or unpredictable rains.
Something on our plate that we are looking at, because now rain-fed agriculture belongs to the past. It is so frustrating, it's so difficult. No commercial contract farmer will do rain-fed agriculture, and so we have that on our plate, and it's something that we are interested in looking at to ensure that it comes to fruition.
District Chief Executive Adom Kobna Johnson welcomed the industrial park news, but also highlighted another key government initiative, describing the government's 24-hour market as timely and a move to boost the local economy.
And it is also important for you to know that when these produce are in season, these traders come as early as 2 a.m. just to make sure that they have their bargaining powers in place. And then farmers begin to troop in at that particular period. So the day break, and it continues, the cycle is around the clock. And so for us in Techima North, this is timely. This is going to help us.
The DCE was, however, quick to address a fundamental need that underpins all this growth: access to clean water. He stated that steps are far advanced to significantly improve potable water supply, specifically through the construction of boreholes in areas where water scarcity is a daily struggle.
We also need to allocate 10% of the common fund to water, and at least to drill 10 mechanized boreholes. So we have selected these communities that are in need of the water, and the Assembly has approved of it. One critical area that suits my heart is Tanokro.
So the picture emerging here is one of coordinated effort, attracting industry, modernizing agriculture, turbocharging commerce, and crucially, laying the essential groundwork with water infrastructure. Techima North is positioning itself not just for growth, but for sustainable job-creating development. Reporting for JoyNews, Anna Sabit, Chiobodom.
Thanks so much for your company. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Daniel is on standby with sports.